Hi, and welcome back to Life Hope Talks. Now, online dating. What has been my experience in the beginning, on day one of me making a choice as to which dating app I wanted to go with? Um, it's been interesting even on day one. So, what do I mean by that? Within maybe a good 15 minutes of me publishing my profile, I had about five people, five guys that reached out to me, started to chat with me, message me, introduce themselves. And everything you do in the app. So you do not give out your personal phone number. Any chatting, texting, video chatting, everything is done in the app. So you don't have to worry about maybe somebody being creepy or someone that you're uninterested in. You've given out your phone number. Now this person kind of like won't take the hint and they keep calling you. So you don't have to worry about your personal phone number, having to give that out to someone unless you choose to do that as you chat in the app. So my experience so far, within about maybe 15 minutes of me publishing my profile, I had about five guys that messaged me, begin to introduce themselves. They weren't just liking my pictures or the little bit that I did reveal about myself in my profile. They were actually trying to engage. So, right off the bat, you're like a new car. And then I learned that with the profile pictures and things that you upload, there is this new sign there. So everyone knows you're new to the website or to the app. So that might be enticing for a lot of people, to kind of get to the new person, kind of like a new car. So I kind of was found that a little bit funny. I was like, oh, okay, we got new on there. I guess that maybe isn't an attention getter. I'm not really sure. But there were five people. So I began to look through them and I'm texting back and forth in the app. I'm back and forth, we're chatting and things. Let me tell you, you have to have time if you're going to do the online dating thing. You got to have time because while I was chatting back and forth with these guys, I get more guys coming in introducing themselves. Again, we're not talking about just liking my pictures or liking a quote or a saying or something that they've seen on my profile. I mean, actively engaging. So, one thing I certainly noticed right off the bat is that you cannot focus in on one person because along with those five, I started getting even more to the point where I was like, whoa, this is a little bit overwhelming. Now, you might be thinking, hey, but that's good. You got interest, you got people looking at you. Oh, that's good. But again, you got to have time to do this. So here I was in the app. I am texting back and forth with these different guys. It was so hard to keep up with who I already responded to because when you look at it in the app, it just looks like how you would text on your regular phone. It's just that, again, everything is in the app. So, getting attention and getting uh, interested people to engage you, that happened within the first 15 minutes. And it kept going. I kept getting notifications. Even when I felt like, oh, that was just a little bit overwhelming, let me come off for a minute. The app itself, anytime someone sends you a message or if they like your picture or they like something about you, you get the notification. So you start getting notifications. So again, you may say, hey, that's good. And it is good. I'm not complaining whatsoever. I'm not saying that that's not good. What I am saying is you have to have time. You really got to make time to look through profiles and respond to people because again, you don't know who you might be compatible with. Then on top of that, the the dating site matches you with other potential dates, with things that you have in common. So not only was I getting messaged in the app and kept getting notifications of people who were messaging me or liking my pictures or whatever, the dating app itself, the dating site, sent me a list of potential dates. And that list, the first list I received was like 61. Now, I am not going through, and I did not go through 61 profiles. That is just way too much. That's real serious. I did not go through that, but you might. This is just me giving you my experience, which was a good experience. It has been a good experience. I mean, you got people that's messaging me, and I'm able to have these conversations in the app. I'm able to video in the app, so it's been going pretty well. But what I want to say to you is, and what I did not know, although others were encouraging me to try it, is that you really got to make a lot of time. I just feel like you've got to make a lot of time to look through people's profiles, not just look through their pictures, but look through what they have to say, what they say about themselves, how they answer some of the questions. And that takes time within itself. And even when you do that, you still have people messaging you. And then you got the app, sending you messages that this person has looked through your profile and this person has liked a picture, or this person is messaging you to want to introduce themselves. So it's really busy. It's hard to focus in on just one or two, three people. When I think out here in real life, when you are dating or you're interested in someone, you're not juggling like 13 people at one time. And that's what I was doing. I'm like juggling 13 men who were introducing themselves. For me, that was a bit overwhelming because in real life, I'm not juggling 13 guys trying to get to know me all at one time. 13? No. But it is good and encouraging to know that I had that many men who were interested in my profile, not just liking my pictures, but actually reaching out and trying to engage me. They really were. So I had to take a step back, and instead of engaging everyone who was trying to engage me and trying to chat with me, I just went back to their profile. Because there were just too many people at one time. Like I was saying, you're talking about 13 people that it ended up being within a short period of time. It initially started out with 5, and then it kept growing and growing and growing. And then I found out later that they can see when you were online too. So not only in front of my picture that says new, like a new car, but it also showed that I was online at that time. And I guess that caused a few other guys to decide to introduce themselves because they saw that I was on the app. So they were like, hey, I guess they felt like, hey, this is a real person. She's on right now. Let's reach out. So again, I had to go through those profiles because, it gives you a clue. It gives you kind of a hint of what that person is bringing and what's important to them and what they have to offer. Also looking through those pictures. Now, the pictures were a big thing here. This particular dating app, I think they allowed about 20 pictures that you can upload. And before you even get too far into this, I did not upload 20 pictures. So what I did was I uploaded, 3, 3, and 2. So we're talking about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I had 10 pictures I uploaded. What 10 pictures I uploaded? I uploaded pictures of me close up, in different attire. I also uploaded pictures of me full body. That's a big thing. Let me tell you, people want to get a good idea of what you look like, whether you're curvy or whether you got a lot of this, or maybe you're slim or whatever you are. People want to know what they're getting, which I kind of understand that because typically when you meet someone out, they already seeing what you got, basically, So I kind of understand that. So I was like, okay, let me upload that too. I also uploaded a couple of pictures of my hand and feet. Now you may be thinking, hands and feet. Listen, these guys are into hands and feet. They want to know how you're taking care of yourself. And yes, you do have guys who have foot fetishes. But because they want to look at your feet doesn't mean that they have a foot fetish. Now, guys wanting to look at how you or get a good idea of how you care for yourself and having a foot fetish, those are completely different things. But believe it or not, I got a lot of thumbs up and likes and things with pictures of my hand and my feet. They want to see them. So if you're thinking about doing online dating and you go get your pedicure, your nails done, go ahead and snap some pictures of your hands, because they want to see those. And I've had some that messaged me, and they must have not looked far enough in my pictures, because again, I only had about 10 pictures that I uploaded. And as we were chatting, just engaging each other back and forth, they were like, "Oh, well, you have any pictures of your feet or your hands?" So they're serious about it. And of course, I had to redirect them and say, "Hey, go back to my pictures, my profile, keep going, look at the end. You'll see pictures of my hands and my feet." Another big thing about the pictures is these guys want to know when you took those pictures. So now, if you're looking to upload a picture from 1980 and you using it for today, and you got a lot of gray hair, or that you're wearing a short cut, but the picture you upload is you with all this long, gorgeous hair, like they want to know, when did you take those pictures? So for me, all of my pictures that I uploaded are they were within about 30 to 45 days, that I had taken some pictures. So I uploaded those. And they will ask you, "Well, how old are these pictures? When did you take these pictures?" So they're real serious about some of these questions. Like, for one, they want to make sure you're real and that you look like how you say you do. And they want to know when you took those pictures. So I was unaware of that. So although I was being encouraged to try it, the people that were encouraging me to try it didn't really give me all of the specifics. They didn't give me an expectation or kind of a heads up. I just learned it as I began to sign up for this one particular dating site, and I only did one. I know people do two or three. You got to have time to do that. And if you're okay with investing time in different apps and different dating sites, and you're going to go back and forth and be looking through profiles and engaging yourself, then that's great. But for me, the one of the biggest things is that you got to have a lot of time, and then you get your daily matches, which are different matches. So lots of opportunity, there is no shortage of profiles to look through. The thing that you just would hope is that if you introduce yourself or engage some guy, you just waiting to see if they will respond to you. So that's been my experience, like on day one. Just make sure you have recent pictures, and people want to know a little bit about you. So some of the questions that is out there for you to answer, you want to answer those and not just upload pictures. You do want to say a little bit about yourself, like if you believe in God or if you're very religious, people want to know that. What you like to do for fun, what are some of your hobbies, what are some of your interests, things like that. People want to know. And these guys who are really serious about engaging, potential dates, they look through your profile and they will ask you specifically about, like, your special quote, or about some of the things that you have listed in your profile. So you have a lot of guys that are really actively looking through profiles, and they're not just looking at your pictures, which again is very, very encouraging. Another thing you can do that I've noticed with the online dating app is that you can be very specific as to what your preferences are. So if you want someone who is of a master's level, PhD, someone who is at a bachelor's level, or someone who has finished high school, or if you're more specific, you have a preference for a specific race, you can do that. Someone who lives within a certain mileage of where you're at, you can certainly add some specificity there by going through the settings. So I thought that was a real good option there. You're not looking at people in other states, because I wouldn't be interested in someone who's living in a different state, because that's more time you have to invest. And then you got to really figure out how you're going to make that work, especially if you do not have flexibility with your job. Now, if you have flexibility with your job and you can get up and go, then dating someone in a different state might not be a big deal, because you can travel, or you travel frequently. So those are just some things that I learned from being online here. It's been very interesting, but at the same time, it can be overwhelming. So you just have to kind of figure out what works for you. If you are going to look through profiles and engage people maybe in the mornings and maybe lunchtime, maybe at night. I know for me, I'm very busy during the day, so I really only have like that nighttime is when I really have time to engage others. And that's when I saw a lot of the engagement is at night, somewhere after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. You go on, you see some of everybody online. Because as I said before, I learned that people can see you when you're on the app, and I can see them too. And there are so many people on that I notice, somewhere around 8, 9 o'clock, people are on and they're messaging you, and they are reaching out, and they're not just saying, like dumb stuff. They really introducing themselves and trying to engage you as though you were right in front of them. So I thought that was very helpful and encouraging. I was like, oh, okay. So this app here, I see they're really trying to help people make connections. So I hope you have found this to be interesting for you and helpful. If you know someone who is kind of thinking about doing online dating, but they don't really have an expectation, because I know I didn't, other than people saying, hey, you should try it. Everybody's doing it. So I decided to do a trial. So if you know someone who is thinking about it, or maybe they're on it, and they're uncertain of like different things that they can do, or maybe some helpful tips on, how to begin with it, please share this video with them, because I'll be doing a full series on this. So I have so many different parts on this. This one here is just the beginning, just my day one that I was on there. And again, day one on there was successful. There were lots of engagements. I ended up with like 13 people that were actively trying to engage me, asking, if they can get to know me and so forth. And it just was a lot to go through. And I hadn't even touched the list of 61 matches that were sent to me. The next day, I think I tried to go through, a few of those. I didn't even get through a fraction of them, because there's just so many different things to read. So far, it seems like a viable option for those of you who are thinking about it, but uncertain of how it works, or what do you do with those when you're on the app. So again, I hope you found this very helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and comment. I definitely want to hear your comments on there. If any of you are watching and you've had experiences or success stories that may be encouraging for me to keep going, I don't know. So please, I'm looking to hear from you, and thank you for watching. And until the next time, please take care of yourself.